We begin Retrospect this week in 1992 with a local organization looking to keep Lloydminster kids warm.
Coats for Kids is up and running for another winter season. The program was somewhat in trouble this year as no organization seemed to have the manpower to handle it. However, Lloydminster's Native Friendship Center has picked up the reins and things are going well.
Well, we've had really good response in people donating jackets and also some boots and mittens and toques for the children. And we've had people stop in for volunteering to help us pick up the coats, and we've had organizations and businesses offering to help clean the coats, donate coat racks.
Since the program kicked off last Wednesday, over 50 coats of all colors and sizes have been dropped off. Bins are set up in grocery stores around the city. Although so far the response has been favorable, sometimes the drop-off bins seem to act more as garbage cans for local residents. Organizers are crossing their fingers the uptrend continues as they don't yet know how many needy kids they have to provide for. Elisa and Leanne are operating Coats for Kids as part of their youth outreach focus at the Friendship Center. They hope by interacting with local children and teens, they'll be able to identify those who need help.
We do see how little they wear sometimes and that it isn't a big concern for them even though they may feel cold. And I guess that we just want people to know that there is a need, and there are young people, teenagers included, that really need jackets for the winter time.
In past years, there has been a lack of clothes coming in for the teenage group. By concentrating on that this year, officials hope to make a difference. People are also encouraged to drop off more than just jackets.
And it's nice if they don't want to button up their jacket all the way to the top, if they have a scarf or a head thing or a toque or mitts. And we've had a great response with that so far. Even some very brand new things with tags still on them that people are donating just because they know that there is a need. A lot more coats for young men, for boys, and for teenage boys. We do receive more for girls predominantly. That's all right, we hope to see lots. It's just the beginning.
Local schools are also getting involved, providing lists of students who could use a warm jacket. Organizers say anyone in need can stop by the Friendship Center, and if you want to make donations to the cause, bins will remain in stores until mid-December. Julie Matthews, NewsHour.
And now we fast forward to 1997 with the city debating over what would become Lloydminster's most well-known landmark.
Lloydminster's long-awaited border marker design was unveiled to the public late last summer. It features 5 100-foot-tall steel markers that officials hope will create a curtain of light. Last night, a majority of council members voted to go ahead with the tendering process.
Border marker is probably one of the more misunderstood projects the city has been looking at over the past while.
Councillor Rod Pillman says the confusion stems from funding of the project and whether or not it will actually go ahead as planned.
We're not at that point yet of deciding whether we're going to proceed with a border marker. We still have those options available. What we need to know is that, one, the consultant has to be within the constraints of the budget that we set some time ago. There could be no mistake that we're not going to fund it beyond the $421,000.
And while a maximum price tag has been set, Councillor Barb Foster feels tendering locally will help to bring the project in under budget.
I think that what you can tender in Edmonton is one price, and what you can tender in Lloydminster will certainly have a bearing on the final cost.
Some members of council have mixed feelings on whether the project should go through to completion. However, Herb Flieger says this is an opportunity that should not be lost.
It was the same thing when Bud Miller Park was announced. There was a lot of opposition to it. But you try to take that park away from the citizens today, and your life wouldn't be worth a dime. And so I treat this the same way.
I'm not against the concept of a border marker, but I don't think we as a council are showing much fiscal responsibility.
Ilston Platt is one of 2 councillors to vote against the tendering process last night and says such a move reflects badly on the province of Alberta.
In view of the fact that they are in debt considerable amounts at this time, but they're still spending the money. And I think somewhere along the way, local governments, provincial governments, and federal governments are going to have to pull in their horns.
Funding for the $421,000 project will be cost-shared by both the city and the Alberta government. With council approving the tendering process, the city is buying time for deferring the provincial funding, which would otherwise end this December.
The tenders will be brought back to council for further consideration, and if at that point council members feel that we should defer or cancel the project, they're quite able to make that decision at that time.
Michael Higgins, NewsHour.
And this has been a look back at this week in Retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webb's Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webb's Ford in Vermilion.